first thing we're gonna do is get both of our roof pieces out of the box, lay them up on top of the machine, make sure they're gonna fit, then we're just gonna set them aside. We're gonna grab our flat foam seal. We're gonna start here on the curved portion before it starts to go down, so like right in this region here. We're gonna apply it all the way to the back side to where the curved portion starts on the cage. Then once we get to this point here, we're gonna go ahead and cut off the excess, just like that. Then go back through and make sure it's fully seated, just like it's good and straight. Then we're gonna start here with another piece of foam, butt it up against the outer piece of foam we just installed. You're gonna run it across this center section. Then once we get to this point right here, we're gonna go ahead and cut off the excess. Take another piece and run it the same way on the outside of the cage as you did on the opposite side. And the same as the opposite side, as soon as you get to the point where it's about to curve down on the cage, go ahead and cut off the excess. Then we're gonna take our last piece of seal and we're gonna run it across the front on the cage portion only. You don't wanna get it up here on the flats or anything like that. Just straight across, and then we'll end right here. And you're gonna grab 10 of the M6 by 20 screws, as well as 10 sealing washers for these screws. You're gonna grab 5 M6 by 25 screws, as well as sealing washers and M6 nuts. You're gonna grab 2 large clamps, as well as your flat seal, and then 3 of the smaller clamps, and then your bracket. So with the windshield on the table, you want it to be oriented like this, with the curved portion facing away or facing back up towards me where I'm standing now. And we're just gonna go ahead and walk up here to the front. Next, you're gonna grab the smaller flat seal. It's almost like a foam. You're gonna install it to this bracket all the way across. Next, we're gonna install our bracket to the roof using our M6 by 25 screws with our small sealing washers. When installing this bracket, you want to make sure that the foam portion of it is up against the roof, and then the sealing washer side of the screw is going to be coming from the outside in, like so. This will be the outside, and the opposite side will be the inside. So we're going to go ahead and start our nut on the inside, and we're going to continue down through here on each of these holes. We'll just go through and do this for all of them. So we have all our hardware started for our bracket. We're not gonna tighten it just yet. We're gonna grab one of our large clamps and some of the flat seal. So we're gonna go ahead and install this portion of the seal to one of our large clamps. It doesn't have to be perfect. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side of the clamp. So the big clamps are only gonna be on the outsides. And remember, like I said, this is gonna be the inside. So you're gonna wanna make sure that the clamps are like this. That way you can fasten them to the cage. So we're gonna grab 2 of our M6 by 20s. And we're just gonna start the hardware in there. And then for these 3 sets of holes here, you're gonna get your smaller clamp and you're gonna attach it the same way, except this time you wanna make sure that it opens up like this. So whenever it's on the roof, it should sit just like this. So we're gonna grab our M6 by 20s. Go ahead and get them started. You don't want to fully tighten any of them yet, just in case you have to make some minor adjustments. Then you'll just repeat these steps for the rest of the 2 sets of holes, and repeat the step for the large clamp on the outside. It should look just like this. All the inside clamps, the 3 together, are opening up like this. We have a bracket on. The outside clamps are opening like this. Nothing is tight yet. Now we're going to put the roof on. Next, we're gonna grab our Velcro straps, our M12 by 30 hardware, our M12 nut. We're gonna attach this strap with the hole facing towards the inside of the machine. We have our M12 screw here, also a sealing washer. We're gonna put the bolt through just like this. We're gonna line up the hole in the strap. We'll go ahead and start our nut, and then we'll repeat that step for the opposite side. And then we're not gonna fully tighten these straps until the rest of the roof is secured to the machine. Grab the rest of your clamps and the rest of your hardware. You're gonna have 4 large clamps. They're each gonna be on the outsides. So these 2 sets of holes and those 2 sets of holes. Then your 2 small clamps. Then you're gonna get all of the M6 by 20 millimeter hardware out. Grab some M6 bolts here. Go ahead and put our sealing washers on. We're gonna take a small clamp, making sure that the clamp is opening like so. Go ahead and get our screw started into the clamp. We're gonna do the exact same thing for this one here. Then for all of our large outer clamps, you're gonna wanna make sure that you put the seal in like we did on the clamps on the rear. And then we're just gonna go ahead and install them to these outer holes. Once the front portion of the roof looks like this, we're gonna go ahead and get it installed onto the machine. Now that we have both of the roofs up here, we're gonna go ahead and attach the two by taking one of our M6 by 25 millimeter screws with the sealing washers, the same screws that we use to attach the bracket to the rear portion of the roof. We're gonna stick our bolt through, and we're gonna go ahead and start our nut, and we'll just go all the way across the roof. Make sure it's lined up all the way across. Put our screws in. Go through, make sure that all your clamps are in place. Then, after you have all your hardware started, go ahead and fully tighten all the hardware, securing the two portions of the roof together. Once we have our two roofs coupled together, we're gonna go ahead and get our roof assembly in position. You wanna make sure that you have an even gap on either side. Looks like we're in a good position here, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab all of the previously removed screws out of the clamps and start securing the clamps. I like to work my way from the front to the sides. Once you have all the side clamps securely fastened to the cage of the machine, then do all the innermost clamp. Once the clamps are fastened to the cage of the machine all the way around, we're gonna come back up to the top of the roof and tighten all the hardware that secures the roof to the clamp. We're gonna secure the roof in the rear by using the strap. You'll just wanna slide it through, tighten it down as tight as you can get it. Do the same thing over here on the opposite side. Then we're gonna tighten this hardware here. And that's how super easy it is to install SuperATV's tinted roof on this Kawasaki Teryx 4. For more information on this roof, or any of SuperATV's great products, give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at superatv.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.